Hey friend, are you new to the lock community? If you just recently started your locks, then first of all, congratulations. But if you are struggling to find a consistent moisturization routine for your starter locks, if you are just really unaware of what products to use or what routine to moisturize your locks with, or if you're just curious if you're missing any information that you could use to help you have a more healthy and seamless starter lock journey, then this video is for you. We all know, especially me, since I've been in the lock journey for almost 4 years now, how difficult it can be to keep your locks moisturized, especially when you're first starting out and you're new at this thing. So don't worry, I got you. I'm gonna cover all that in this video. Alright y'all, so I first want to say that I have been locked for, like I said, almost 4 years, and I started my lock journey in November of 2020, and now it's 2024. I have had multiple different experiences with changing my routine, changing my regimen, and finding out what works for me. However, I give these videos, I'm not a professional, so I'm not a loctician, I'm not a stylist, I'm just a person who's been on their lock journey for a little while, and a person who's gotten a lot of questions from viewers on this channel over the years as I've been doing YouTube videos about locks for the amount of time that I've had them. And so a lot of this is based off of my own research. However, use your own discretion and discernment always when deciding what you're going to do with your lock journey. However, I hope all of these tips are helpful in some way, some shape, or some capacity. So the first thing we need to kind of get straight is the difference between moisture and hydration. Both of those sound like the same thing, or they can, but they're not really interchangeable. Moisture is like, I'm gonna use lotion for example, right? I get ashy. I'm a black person and ash shows up on my skin. However, I know the difference between having moisturized skin and having hydrated skin. So let me give you an example. Moisturized is like you put lotion on, right? But then you go outside after you've moisturized. You go outside, maybe it's cold outside, and then you're ashy again. Obviously, I'm not hydrated, I'm just moisturized, because if I was hydrated, hydration goes deeper than the surface level. Moisturization is just what you put on top, but hydration really happens oftentimes from the inside out, and hydration is like a deeper type of moisture. The whatever product or the lotion or the moisturizing product isn't just sitting on top, it is penetrating, and also you are hydrated, meaning that from the inside of your body, you are also hydrated, which I'll get into. So that being said, we really want to have hydrated locks. Moisturization is key, but really hydration is the lasting foundation for a healthy starter lock journey. So how do we stay hydrated? I think the number one thing to consider is your hydration from the inside out. Like I just said, the first thing you really want to make sure is that you drink water. And I love the fact that a lot of us drink water, spring water, not the purified version of water. Hopefully you're getting maybe some alkaline water, right? Whatever your version of water is, it's great to drink water, but also remember that you can get water from fruit. So eating fruit and drinking water are an essential part of staying hydrated from the inside out. Your hair will grow and thrive and be hydrated depending on how healthy you are from the inside out. Because on this channel, I really support a holistic, all around mind, body, spirit aspect of hair journey and your lock journey. So that's the first thing. Hydrate from the inside out first before you look at what you're putting on your hair. The next thing to realize with starter locks is that moisturization and hydration both start with your wash routine. Now, there's been some debate about how often should you wash your starter locks. I personally think there's no wrong answer, but definitely you will be able to tell when your scalp gets dirty. Maybe, possibly around 1 or 2 weeks in. I know there's a lot of debate about washing your locks only months after you've got them installed, especially the first time you get your starter locks. I'm not really in support of that. That's just me. I think that you should wash your locks, meaning shampoo and clarify and get in there into the scalp. I think you should wash them when you feel like your scalp needs a wash, when you feel like it's dirty. And that usually happens, for me personally, around 2 weeks. So I have a regular routine of washing my locks every 2 weeks. I think it's similar for starter locks. When I first started out though, I really was figuring out my routine. So I tried first starting out washing my hair once a month. That worked well, but then I tried something else and I tried increasing the frequency to every 2 weeks, which is really twice a month. So when you're first starting out, don't be afraid to try out different frequencies of washing your hair. However, hydration starts with how you wash your hair. You want to use a shampoo that is either for locks or it's clarifying, either way. The reason I say for locks is because whatever products that you're using in general, I would suggest that number one, they be like very natural, using the minimal amount of chemicals or stuff that you don't know that's in your lock products. I think the easier the ingredients are to read, the better. And I personally like to use House of Isis locked shampoo. Here's the locked shampoo, and this locked shampoo very much cleanses your locks, as well as it does moisturize a little bit because it's infused with essential oils, frankincense, patchouli, and chamomile. But it also has like literally 6 products in it that I can read all of them, so I know exactly what I'm putting in my hair. This is also Black owned, and it's made by people who have locks and natural hair. So I think that's super important, because if your products that you're not using are not made by people and designed by people who don't have the texture of hair that you have, it doesn't really make sense to use their products, because they don't have that personal experience as much as you do. My second tip is, now that we're getting into how to moisturize, and I'm going to give some tips on how to moisturize, I recommend moisturizing your hair or doing your moisture or hydration routine. I'll just say hydration. Do your hydration routine preferably in the morning or throughout the day. I do not recommend, however, doing it at night, right before you go to bed. Reason why is because I tried that in the beginning of my lock journey. When your hair is hydrated, the moisture is sealed in. Basically, once your hair is like kind of hydrated or damp or moist, you don't want to go to bed on wet hair, or moist hair for that matter, because when you have locks, your hair is not able to dry as fast as when you have loose natural hair. Because of that, these are so many different hairs inside of your locks. They could possibly get mildew build up, and that smell is not a smell that you want. When you go to sleep with wet hair, it produces an environment for mildew, certain smells, and also it produces an environment for flat locks eventually down the line, because the hair is very malleable when it's wet and damp. And if you go to sleep and literally go to sleep and flatten it, then that can cause flat locks over time, which if you don't want that or the mildew smell, then moisturize them or do this hydration routine throughout the day. About the products that you use when you actually go to hydrate your hair, I recommend that it be the first product be a water-based product. And I also recommend that it be a mist. Now, I know you're thinking like, what about oils? I'll get to that in a moment. But I'm going in the order of what products that you should use in order. So mist, the reason why I say water-based product and something that you can mist on your hair or spray on your hair is because locks don't require heavy products. They don't require like highly dense products or thick products. I'm a true believer in the less the better, and anything that is lightweight is better for your hair, because you want to early on prevent product buildup as much as possible. A lot of people who use maybe butters or creams or even gels early on in their lock journey are more susceptible to lint buildup and product buildup over time because that product is heavier and can stuck in your hair heavier, or can get stuck in your hair more. So using a lightweight mist, believe me, it will help keep your hair more hydrated than a heavier product. So the House of Isis brand also has another product that I'll share, which is their citrus mist. Now they have scalp mists in a few different scents, but I'll show you this citrus mist, and the reason why I like it is because I can use it on my scalp and I can also use it on my hair to hydrate. It has water as the first ingredient, which means that water is the most prominent ingredient. And then it also has some essential oils: grapefruit, orange, lime, peppermint, and chamomile. Now, another thing about the products that you use that are water-based, avoid hydrating your locks with things that have carrier oils in them. Carrier oils are like olive oil, jojoba oil. Is coconut oil a carrier oil? They're usually the most common oils, like avocado oil and stuff like that. The reason why is because oil sits on top of water. So carrier oils are more sealing than they are hydrating. And this is where it gets into hydration versus moisturization. Imagine if every day to moisturize your skin, all you did was put oil on your skin. Do you know how that feels? Oil, all it does is like sit on top of the skin. It doesn't penetrate the skin. So that's why I wanted to get to oils later on, because oil should never be the first thing that you put on your locks. It should always be something water-based, because oil sits on top of water, and that is why you do oil after the water-based product, so that oil can seal in the moisture, since it does sit on top of the skin. It will do the same thing for your hair. So hopefully that made sense. No, this is a lot of information, but once you apply these things to your journey and your hair routine, you'll be able to better discern what's for you and what isn't, and how to use these products. So the next thing that I'll show is a oil. So you can use small amounts of oil throughout your week. I personally use the least amount of oil. I have a more detailed video on why I stopped kind of like using oils on my hair in a certain way. If you want to see that video, boom, watch it here in the card. And I'll also put it at the end of the video. Basically, because oil sits on top of water, for some people, you won't want to use oil a lot at all. So personally, what I do is I use the mist, and I mist my locks multiple times throughout the week. You might be asking yourself, well, okay, so Lauren, how many times throughout the week do I even do this routine? There's no wrong answer. I don't think there's any wrong answer. For you, it may be 2 times throughout the week. For me, it could be 4 times throughout the week. And then for the next person, it could be 1 time a week. You have to figure that out for yourself. Or you could consult a loctician, but you can always be your own loctician. I think the more time you spend with your hair and trying different things out, the more you'll learn. So what I was saying, you use this, I use this mist, and I use it firsthand before I use any type of oil. I spray my hair with this mist maybe like 3 to 5 times per week. Sometimes I follow up with a little bit of oil, just a little bit. However, this already has oils in the product. They're not carrier oils, so they're not heavy oils like I mentioned before, but they are oils nonetheless, essential oils. So sometimes I feel the need to only use this for my hair alone. However, if you feel like you want to seal in the moisture from that water-based product to really hydrate, then after you use your water-based product, and only after, then you can take like a small amount of your favorite oil, and it can be olive oil, avocado oil, jojoba oil. Well, those are the most common for locks. I will say that avocado, olive, jojoba, and maybe possibly Jamaican black castor oil, but you have to dilute it because it's very heavy oil. So I wouldn't use Jamaican black castor oil by itself. But whatever your favorite oil is, you can put maybe like a dime-sized amount in your palm. But the reason why I use this oil by the House of Isis is because, honestly, because it smells really, really great, and because it literally says it's for locks. And it has cold pressed olive and castor oil, frankincense, patchouli, and chamomile. And it smells great. Like it's the best smelling oil I've ever had. Again, you can use my coupon code for 15% off of your purchase anytime. You can reuse it anytime, and it's always going to be in the description box for you. But other examples of water-based moisturizers that you could use for your locks, for your starter locks, and anytime throughout your lock journey, honestly, is rose water, distilled water, maybe even aloe vera juice or aloe vera gel mixed in or diluted with some type of rose water or distilled water. What I don't recommend as far as using a water-based product is to use tap water. I don't recommend tap water because tap water has microplastics in the water. So you may notice that whenever you take a shower and then you wash your hair in the shower, your locks may feel a little dry and brittle after you've shampooed, because most of us have hard water in our shower, which means that there are like mineral deposits inside of the water that can dry out the hair. It's totally your preference or your option if you want to get a water filter for your shower head. There are those options. I personally have never done that because I just kind of fared pretty well with my moisturization and hydration routine without any type of filter on my shower head. But some people do opt to do that. That could be a great thing to do to keep your hydration in your hair. But just be aware that, yeah, the shower water most of the time is going to be hard water, especially if you live in the US. But especially when you're choosing what water to use in your mist, whether you make it or whether you buy it, don't use the tap water. I would recommend buying a bucket of distilled water from whatever grocery store you can find it at. You can find it right at Target or Walmart. Distilled water, definitely. And then here it goes. How should you wear your hair at night? That's also part of your moisturization, or should I say hydration routine. Again, I suggest using all your products, whatever products you choose, during the day so that you're not going to bed with any damp hair, you're fully dry. What I do recommend for how you sleep at night is to wear a bonnet on your locks. Number one, because with starter locks, your locks are still expanding and growing and shaping. The lock size that you start with is not going to be the thickness over time. Your locks are going to be thicker, much thicker actually, than when you first start your locks. That means when you sleep, our cells are reproducing, our body is growing. When you sleep, your locks are literally swelling and contracting. So because of that, you want your locks to have a lot of room. I recommend a bonnet. You can even get one of those lock bonnets. I'll actually show you mine. So this is one of my locked bonnets, and this is how I sleep at night. And it has tons of room in the back, as you can see, for when your hair starts to grow. And my hair basically is almost at the bottom of this bonnet. However, I've had it like since year one or a little bit before year one of my lock journey. I think lock bonnets or braid bonnets, you can just get them from the beauty supply store if you want. That's where I get mine. Are great for your starter lock journey. Plus, there's plenty of room for my hair to move around. And what I don't recommend, honestly, is to sleep with a do-rag or like a, what is that, like a wave cap or like a skull cap, because it just does not allow your scalp and your locks to breathe. Think about it. Like, you wouldn't want to wear super tight spandex underwear to bed to sleep at night, right? You want everything to be breathing. You want everything to be out and, like, you know, be able to breathe, because that's the state of your body at night. You don't want to feel all strangled up and hugged up. So bonnets are great. Also, people have asked me about satin pillowcases. I'm gonna take this off now. Bloop. So also, people have asked me about satin pillowcases. On my bed currently, I do have a satin pillowcase and I sleep with it every night. However, I always use a bonnet, whether I'm sleeping on a satin pillowcase or not. The reason why is because, like, throughout the day, your hair is gonna get dirty. It's gonna be brushing up against things. The wind is gonna be like whipping in your hair, and we don't wash our hair every day just like we wash our face. We wash our hair, well, I wash my hair every 2 weeks. And I know in between that 2 weeks, it gets a little bit dirty. So imagine if I had my hair out while I'm sleeping and I toss and turn throughout the night, and it's been like maybe a week and a half since I first washed my locks, and my face is clean, but my hair isn't. And while I'm tossing and turning, my face is touching the same surface that my hair is touching, because both my face and my hair are out on the pillow. You get where I'm coming from? So I feel like, for me personally, the satin pillowcase is not as sanitary as a bonnet because it keeps everything in one. It just all depends on how you feel, but that's how I feel. That's my personal preference, and there's no right or wrong way to go about this thing. So your choice. What is your nighttime routine, and what is your current moisturization routine, and how do you think you can make it better? What from this video stood out to you the most? Let me know down in the comments down below. And also, if you want to download my free guided meditation, I do host mindfulness masterclasses, free mindfulness masterclasses every couple of weeks. So if you're interested in that, then check the link down in the description box. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, I'm sending peace your way, love your way, and joy to you, your family, and your friends. All right, y'all. Peace.